Welcome to Taming Python tutorial series. In this video, we're going to learn about a very important and simple data structure in Python, which is lists. List means it's just a list of objects. Objects can be numbers, strings, or whatever. Alright, let's get started with coding. I'll take a blank folder. I'm going to open it with Visual Studio Code. Alright, my Visual Studio Code is open. I'll create a new file using this new file icon. I'll just name it index.py. Alright, my new file is created. I'll just write x equal to square brackets, and within that I'll write 1, 2, 3. That's it. My list is created and it's stored in a variable called x. Now let's just try to print this variable. Print x, and now I'll just run and see what's happening. Yeah, you can see I've got a variable in which I have 3 elements which are 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 numbers. So let's just change this a little bit. I'll just write 1, 2, 3 and I'll just write something like A, B, C. I'll just save it and run it. Now you can see I've stored numbers and strings in a list. That means list, you can store any type of object inside a list. Great. Now let's just try to get the length of this list using this len function. So I'll just write list len equal to len of x. So using len of x, I can get the length of x. So I think it should be 4. Let's see how it's happening. I think the length of this list should be 4. Let's see. Print list length. I'll just save it. I'll run it. You can see the length of the list is 4. So using this len function, I can get the length of a list. Alright, now let's just try to get a third element in this list. The third element is 3, right? So let's try to access an element of the list. I'll just try to comment out this. And then I'll write y equal to x of 2. Remember, the indexing is from 0. So the number 3 has the index 2, 0, 1, 2, right? So x of 2 will give me 3. So let's see if it's right or wrong. Print you can see the third element is 3. It is printed. Notice that I have used the index 2 because in Python the list indexing is from 0. So third element means index 2. Now let's slice a list using the colon operator to get its subset. That means if I just want to get 2, 3 out of x, what I have to do is I have to slice this from the second element till the third element. So let me do that. I'll just write k equal to x of, I'm doing it from the second element, that means index 1, 1 colon, and I want it till the third element, that means index 2, but at the end you have to write plus 1, so 3. So basically from 2 to 3 it is starting from index 1 until index 2. So I have to write 1 and at the end I have to use plus 1. So x of 1 to 3 should give me 2, 3 in the output. So let's see. Print. Alright, I'll run this. Yeah, you can see the sliced list is 2, 3. Let me put another variant of slicing. So if you want to access from second element till the end, let's do how we can do that. K equal to x of second element means index 1, 1 colon, and if you just leave it blank, it will take till the last element. So let's see what's happening. Right, I'll run this. Yeah, you can see the sliced list from index 1 till last is 2, 3, ABC. You can see the list is 1, 2, 3, ABC, and I've written 1 colon. That means take the list from index 1 till the end, and index 1 is 2, right? So from 2 to end it's 2, 3, ABC, and you got the sliced list correctly in the output. So this is how you can slice till the end. Alright, let's get to know about another variant of slicing using negative indexes. First I'll start with an example. I'll just write k equal to x of minus 3 to minus 1. What this means is that I am starting from third element from the last. That means first, second, third. I am starting from 2 and I am taking t minus 1. Minus 1 means first element here, but you know the last element is not always included, so you'll get 2 comma 3. So let's see what the output will be. Alright, I've saved it, I'll run it. You can see the output is 2 comma 3. That means I've taken from the third element from the last. So the original list is this one, and third element from the last is 1, 2, 3, 2, and till I'm going for the minus 1. Minus 1 means first element from the last, which is ABC. But you know the last second argument you are specifying will not be included in the list, so you will get from 2 to 3. Minus 1 is ABC, but it will not be included, and you've seen this in the previous example also. In this example I have written 1 is to 3, so 1, 2, 3, but it will not be included. You will get only 2 comma 3. The same way, minus 3 to 1, 1, 2, 3, 2 will be included. 2, 1 means 1 is ABC from the last, but it will not be included, so you will get from 2 to 3 only. And you can even mix negative indices with positive indices. That means if I just write 1 to minus 1, what happens is you will get from the first element, that is 2, because there is a 0 element, from 2 to minus 1. Minus 1 means the first element from the behind is ABC, but it will not be included, so you will get 2 comma 3. So let's see by mixing negative index and positive index. I will save this, I will run this, and you've seen 2 comma 3. So this is how you can use slicing to get a subset of list from the original list. Let's get to know about the next function, which is the append function. Through append function you can add a new element to the list. Suppose if you want to add to this list X, I'll just write X dot append. Now I should add 10 to X. Let's see the output. I'll just run this. Yeah, you can see 10 is added to A and it's getting printed. So using append function, you can add new elements to the list. Using append is good for appending only one element to the list. But if I want to append more elements to the list at once, I can use the extend function. So let's see how it works. X dot extend, and I'll specify list in this input. I'll just write 10 comma 20 comma 30. So now what I'm doing is I'm adding 3 elements at the end of X. So let me save it and run it. Yeah, you can see 10, 20, 30 is appended at the end. So using extend, you can append a list of numbers to the original list. Now if you want to append an element at the beginning, so if you want to get 0 in front of 1, you can just use the function insert. I'll just write x dot insert 0, the position at which you want to insert. Here I want to insert at the index 0. So I will write 0 here, 0 comma, and I will write A. I'll just print this. Now I'll run this. Now you can see A is appended at the start of this list because I've used the insert function and I've specified the index where it should be inserted. So if I just specify something like 2, it will be inserted at the index 2, 0, 1 and 2. So instead of 3, 2 should be appended in the middle. So let's see. I'll just save it and run it. You can see instead of 3, A is coming and all the elements are pushed to the right. So using insert, you can insert any element at the beginning or middle or at the end of the list. Now if I want to find the position of a element in the list, suppose I want to know the index of 3 in this list X, I'll just use the index function. So position of 3 equal to X dot index 3. So let me print out this. Alright, let me print this. The position of 3 in X is 2, right? Because 0, 1, 2, 3 is at position 2 in list X. So that is how you can use index function to find the position of an element inside a list. Alright, let's now talk about another function which is reverse, which will reverse the elements inside a list. So if I just write X dot reverse and I'll just print X, you can see X will be reversed. BC 3 to 1. So by calling the reverse function on the list, I have reversed the list. The next function we are going to talk about is sorted function. Through sorted function, you can sort the elements of a list. But for this purpose, I am going to remove the string from this list because you can only sort the list items which are of same type. So I'll just write here something like 67, 99, -1, 42. So this is my list now. So I'll use sorted function to sort this list. So I'll write y equal to sorted of, and I'll print y. Print y. Now let me run this. You can see x is sorted and stored in the list y. I'll just use the sorted function. Now if I want to sort this in descending order, I'll just write another input, reverse equal to true. This is how you write true in Python. So now I'll just run this. Yeah, you can see that the list is printed in descending order. So what happened is that I have given another input called reverse equal to true to the sorted function, and now the x is sorted in descending order and stored in the variable y. This is how I can use sorted function to sort the list items. I have written a blog post on how to use lists in Python, and I have also given the source code for examples for which you can practice on. So be sure to check the description of this video where I will provide the links to the blog post. Hope you like this video. Thank you for watching.